Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 4, and today we're taking a look at the 1964 Ford GT40 Mk1. Now this GT40 was produced between 1964 and 1969 with only 105 made over several different variants, but it's this Mk1 that is my personal favourite. And yeah, basically the GT40 was made to get owned back at Ferrari, who in the later stages of talks refused Ford's attempts to buy them out, which angered Henry Ford II very much, and yeah, he basically gave people a blank check to just make an endurance racer that would punch Ferrari in the face, and yeah, they succeeded because yeah, the GT40 won between 1966 and 1969 at 24 Hours of Le Mans, with this Mk1 winning in 1968 and 1969, and yeah, even though this isn't the exact same version as the one that won in at Le Mans, it's as close as we're really going to get on this game, as yeah, this doesn't have the same engine. It has a 4.7 litre V8 which produces 390 horsepower and 315 pounds-feet of torque, whereas the one that won in 68 and 69 had a 4.9 litre Windsor V8. But everything else I'm pretty sure is practically the same, and yeah, it was a winning combination of V8 American muscle power and lightweight British engineering, as this was initially engineered by Lola, and yeah, cracking car. It's my personal favourite version of the GT40 because it's got very little in the way of weight at 2,222 pounds. It's the best looking version of the GT40, as the Mark II that we also have on this game doesn't have a nice enough back on it, and it's a bit too lumpant as far as I'm concerned, and yeah, it has significantly less weight than the Mark II at 460 pounds less, so it's, for me, a little bit more nimble and a little bit more fun to drive, even though in terms of the stats this is apparently not as good in terms of handling or braking. But yeah, we're going to get out there and see what this car can do, so yeah, let's get out there. Now unfortunately I can't wholly compare this to the Mark II GT40 because I haven't got it, so I can't give you the acceleration times or top speed of that vehicle because it costs a massive 10 million credits. So yeah, that is a shame, but it's still, as a car as its own in this version, is still a cracking vehicle, and even if it is slower than that Mark II, I don't care. I prefer this version a million times over. It's always been one of my favourite racing cars, especially from the 60s, and yeah, I'm just glad we finally have it on a Forza game, because we've long had to deal with just the Mark II, and even though the Mark II is a decent car, I personally find it just not to be as fun to drive as I've found out this one to be. So yeah, it's got pretty damn good handling you'd expect for a racing car, and its body roll is really rather limited, unlike the Mark II, which I find to roll around a fair bit, and yeah, it's fairly quick. 0 to 60, 4.3 seconds, 0 to 109 seconds, and it'll go into a top speed of 190 miles an hour. Now that even today is pretty damn good for a mid-engine sports car, so yeah, as a classic racer from the 60s, that's pretty formidable really, and just based on that I can see why it won twice on the trot at Le Mans, especially considering it had even more power than this, with obviously that larger Windsor engine. And yeah, even though that is 95 horsepower less than the Mark II and 160 pounds-feet of torque less, I still find this to be pretty quick really, and because it obviously has that significant weight advantage, this personally for me handles better. It's a lot more nimble, it's a lot more playful, it's more responsive, oopsie daisy, and yeah, it's a lot more fun as well. If you want this though, you're going to have to find it in a barn find, which is actually a good thing because this would have cost about the same as a Mark II, and I wouldn't have been able to have saved up for that for quite a while if it did cost 10 million. So yeah, you have to go out and find it. Be warned though, it does take quite a while for this car to be fixed up and ready for you to drive. It took a few days for it to eventually be ready for me, and even then I spent 100 grand to finally finish it off because I just got sick of waiting. So yeah, be warned about that, but it is well worth the wait, and yeah, I'm just glad it's finally in a Forza game, and hopefully it means that we get it in the next Forza Motorsport game as well, because usually that's what happens when we have new cars to Forza series. on Forza Horizon games, we usually get them in the next motorsport game, and fingers crossed that we do with this, because yeah, I'd love to try this out on the track, and yeah, hopefully properly compare it to the Mark II, because I can't on this game, at least not until I save up a massive 10 million credits, which quite frankly at the moment I don't have. Most I've ever had on this game at the moment is 3.2, and that's probably going to get spent, but nonetheless, brilliant car, and yeah, it feels right to have it on a game for the first time in a Forza series when it's set in the UK, because this obviously was in part made here, and yeah, really glad it is here, because it deserves to be, quite frankly. It's a classic car, not just in terms of racing, but in terms of automotive history as well, especially when you consider the backstory for why it was created. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it when you eventually find it in that barn find. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.